All right. Last Action Hero. We, like you were saying, we were watching those action movies that we probably shouldn't have been watching anyway. But we were, like, I remember watching Die Hard, you know, and Terminator 2, like all that stuff. I remember watching, and it wasn't really a thing. I remember watching True Lies with our dad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a thing. And I feel like we, or at least me, maybe you, I don't know. I felt like I really connected with Danny on that level because I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. That's me. And I would love to be able to jump into one of these movies and hang out with my favorite action stars, you know, because all these movies, like we have these movies, and really, like, I think another reason that we watched these was because they were, whether they say they were or not, they were marketing them to kids because they were selling us the action figures that
they had toy lines for Terminator 2. Come on.
Yeah. We both had some of those. Like, it's Alien, the Aliens movies.
Yeah.
I had several of the Xenomorphs.
Demolition Man. Had action figures for Demolition Man.
Yep. Like, that stuff, I don't know. Like, I would rather let my kids watch that stuff than a lot of the R-rated stuff that's out now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like over-the-top violence, but I don't know. I feel like we're okay. Like, you know, we grew up like, oh, yeah, that's over the top, but, like, that's not realistic. But it's fun to watch explosions.
And back then, a lot of the R ratings that they were getting back then were for maybe excessive language or maybe some excessive blood. Obviously, there was nudity and things like that, but it wasn't really graphic so much as it was just like gratuitous, like unnecessary really to the plot. It was just there for the teenage crowd, obviously. And now, like, an R-rated movie really, like, there's not much of a ceiling outside of pushing it into like a XXX. There's nothing that ceiling is very, like, there's only one thing that's going to take you out of an R, it's going to put you above an R rating. Anything else, fair game. And really, like, the stuff that's going to put you above an R rating, like, if you kind of keep it like somewhat tamped down or like pan the camera around just right, or you know, like cut away at the right moment, you can keep it in there and it's still an R-rated movie. And like to you saying, that's very different than the R-rated movies we grew up with. Like, I would imagine there's a lot of stuff that if they tried to make, that they make now and get it through the MAAP or whatever to get it rated 20, 30 years ago, it's going to get a very different rating. It's going to have, or they're going to get a lot of pushback and things that they need to change to maintain that R rating. It's just different.
It is, but it really is.
Then it's just like the wow. Our generation is the reason why we have a PG-13.
It is. It absolutely is. Yep. One of my favorite movies.